Hello there, it's Simone. As you might have seen from the title of the video, and if you are following me on YouTube or Instagram, I am having my yearly planner and journaling struggles. And it is very interesting to see that, I have had them around this time at least for the past 2 years. So last year I decided to move from an A5 notebook into a Hobonichi Weeks as a journal. Then the year before I had was already set to use an A6 Hobonichi as my planner and went with the Jibun Techo. And this year, I was 100% sure that I would be using the Hobonichi Cousin as my main journal and planner. However, in the middle of October, I think that was actually, let me check which date. Yes, on October 9th, I started to use this pocket notebook for my daily to-dos because I have found that I was using and creating on these daily pages to the extent that I wasn't daring to use the page for my to-do list because I didn't know if I was making a to-do list that was this long, if there was enough space for being creative. So then I moved into here, and the second thing that happened was that these weekly spreads, as much as I love looking at this beautiful outcome, I sometimes try or would love to schedule or pre-plan my week, my to-dos, things that I plan on doing on Friday, Thursday, and now that I'm using this as a journaling space or memory planning creative outlet, I kind of can't put stuff here that I plan to do because I need this space for my memory keeping. So I'm thinking that I stop doing this, but I don't want to, or I need another weekly spread where I can plan out my week and put tasks on certain days. So let me go and get what I need to show you next. So my friend Mar, when she before she released her Hobonichi order, she added this weekly supplement that you can put into the A6, but it also fits into here. It's a bit big, but it would totally work. Let me just put this in here, and if I remove that thing from here, or even take this one out because I'm actually not using it, then I will have a solution for 2021. I can put in plan out my week. I can add in to-dos. I can do this completely in pen. I don't think that I can add my weekly to-dos like this here, but I could just use a sticky note to put my to-do list, my weekly to-do list here and move it along, or put it on the page. So that as a weekly to-do list, planning out my week on paper, getting an overview of how busy I am, plus using a to-do list on sticky notes would work really well. I am setting up, or will be setting up, a reference binder, which currently is housed in this traveler's notebook, but it just doesn't work as a notebook. I want to try and use a binder. So I could print a monthly and use the monthly from there, or I can still use this monthly totally for planning purposes. So that would actually work really well. Now, the next thing that I am having trouble with is I really like setting up these daily pages, adding watercolor to them, being creative. Here I used watercolor and cut apart a free printable from Coco Daisy. This just, it brings me joy, but it takes a long time. And so what I'm trying out for after, when is this starting? Tuesday the 11th. So from Wednesday, Tuesday the 10th. So from Wednesday the 11th, I'm just not going to add any watercolor, but just try and see how it's going to work out with using washi tape, with markers, with not adding color to the pages as a set routine, because I kind of feel like I'm falling back into this trap of where I have to have things a certain way. Only then will I be able to journal, to create with this. And I just don't want to limit or, box myself in. And if you are a long-time follower, you know that I'm very prone to doing exactly that. So what else? I really enjoy using this as a planner and a journal. So I love that I have my November YouTube schedule here. I love that I have my weekly review here. I love that I have journaling here. I love that I have tip-ins here. That works really great. I like that the art that I put here is then used to house my October review and November setup pages, but I don't really know. This, I feel, is my notebook. It belongs to me. It's not something I want to I can share with my family, but it's not something that I would like to put into the row of photo albums where we share our family memories. I really miss working with photos, and I don't feel, I just don't want to. Where is that page? This is a photo that I got in the mail from my sister, but I don't want to print our photos and stick them in here. That just doesn't feel like it's the right place for them. But to be honest, everything, like all the creative energy that I have, that I'm having right now, all the time that I'm using creatively goes in here. And that is the thing that is the problem. It's not how this works, it's how much time I spent to maintain it, because then I don't have time for other things. And the other things could be this. I really, every time I look at this, I miss it. I love that it is so tiny, that it houses my memories. In this tiny book, I pulled it out because I was like, maybe I need another one of those, and not do, like, let me show you. So these weekly spreads are somehow kind of like these here. I used stickers from sticker kits here. There is 15 Prill that I use in here. There's Once More with Love. There's all those stickers in here as well. So now I'm thinking, so why am I not using the weekly pages for planning? Or maybe I just don't need the weekly pages. If I'm not using them, am I going to feel guilty if I have this planner, this notebook in 2021, and I'm only using the daily pages? What then? Would I feel guilty? What could I do with them then? That's where I'm at right now. I really feel like I need a Hobonichi Weeks in my life to be happy. So I would love to, the goal for November that I have set is to try and catch up in the weeks, the missing weekly spreads that are still open between June, and there's 1 week in September where I actually did it, then all the October pages, and then I am trying to use this for gratitude in November. I just felt like I want to use this. How can I use this in a different way without doing the same thing twice? So that's the plan for November, and just seeing how far I can catch up, how much time I have to catch up, and if I want to go back here and maybe repurpose the weekly pages in my Hobonichi cousin. Yeah, but this still doesn't for me, the Tomoe River pages are so thin. I feel really, it doesn't feel right to me to put a heavy photo on the page. It sounds strange, but I can't imagine putting a photo on each of those pages. It just feels not right. And also, I would like to photo document some things, but they don't have to be in a planner, to be honest. So my idea was to simply go back to these notebooks. I have 4, one for each of my sons that I have. I even have photos from years ago that I haven't documented in here, and just be free in the way I add them on the pages. This is my middle son. This is my oldest. I have 2 spreads in here, and I have scrapbooking material, and yeah, there's lots of potential right here. There's my other son that I could put traveler's notebooks and spreads in here. This feels like it's doable to me. It's not like I'm expanding into this huge album that I might not be able to finish. And then I have these spreads in here that I could work on. So if I wanted to print photos, I could. I don't feel like they need to be in chronological order. Just documenting photos and stories that I think I want to tell feels like the right thing. So that's where I am right now. I would love to do more with photos. I know that I don't really have enough time. So anything that I would add on, I would need to take away from somewhere else. And that's kind of what I'm trying to feel out, is where can I take time away without me not using this anymore, without me feeling guilty about not using a certain set of pages in a notebook. Right now, I feel like if I had the what was it, the day free, and would maybe add stickers to the monthly pages, some kind of gratitude maybe, and then have the day free where I could just journal and use this as an ongoing notebook. Maybe that would be the better idea, but I already have this. So if I have this one, and why not just use this and see where it, and try to stay away or be aware of the fact that I'm prone to feeling guilty about not using things and having plans in place. I mean, those are not that many pages. Let's see. So these are all the monthly pages. So the pages that I wouldn't be using are these many pages. That's a fraction of the book. That's not too much. And I could decorate on them. I'm doing the same thing on here, so there is stuff on here, so why not do the same thing here? As I'm talking to you, this feels like maybe a way I can go. Maybe my plan for now is to catch up in this one and see if I still enjoy using this as much as I think I'm enjoying it. My plan is to still actually keep up with this, until the end of the year, because I really would love to see how the pages just look when it's all filled up. I'm going to use this mainly for planning, and again, until the end of the year, this part is still going to be my planner part. And then just try and feel out my intentions and what of those things are things that I'm just like the idea of doing it more than actually doing it. I mean, that's I think, I don't know where I actually heard this, but that is something that is really stuck to me. The liking the idea of doing something more than actually doing it, and then feeling guilty about not doing it. That's something that I'm very, very prone to. So I'm really trying to see where this all takes me. And I need to add this disclaimer here. This is so unnecessary, to be honest. I mean, I'm wasting so much energy and life on this, which is, for me, wasting so much time on this. I know that this is definitely also fleeing from my own reality. That is staying at home, distance learning, having an election that is counted out right now. Knowing that so many people still follow this person. And so this to me, and dealing with, is this the right planner for me? Why is this not working? Making trouble for myself, or maybe making trouble, but just dealing with these thoughts and playing around with different setups and ideas in my mind definitely is some kind of escape. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But talking about escape, I do have a question. If you are a Dungeons and Dragons player, I've seen an ad on Instagram from a local comic book shop where they offer courses for children to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and that got the idea to me that we are now, our children are, our youngest is 11, and they would be really interested in learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons. And can we as a family do that ourselves? Do you have any helpful tips on where and how we could get started? We are having a break on Thanksgiving, and that would be really cool to maybe dive into this together as a family. I'm still trying to figure out ways where we can limit our screen time, do things as a family unit together, because our kids are kind of stuck with us right now, and we have to do the best we can. I would say we do love each other. It sounds worse than it is. We like spending time together, but if you don't have a choice, it's always much harder to bear. And yeah, so wow, that sounded so weird. That would be a fun activity that we could do together as a family, and yeah, spend quality time together. So yes, let me know if you have any helpful tips, things we could check out, YouTube channels, podcasts. Someone replied to an Instagram story that I just posted recently and recommended a podcast, so I will definitely give that a listen. It's just, I could use any book. It doesn't really need to be dated. That's another thing, though. I'm really afraid to move from the dated book, because I'm afraid that if I don't have dates in there and I don't think I need to move forward because today is already the 22nd, for instance, and I need to fill those pages, that I won't use them. Yeah, it's really weird. It's a weird problem to have, and I don't know, yeah, I don't know the answer to that. So I think that's it. It's just, this is just so tiny and cute. And I feel like if I don't have one of those next year, I'm gonna be so sad. And it just makes me happy to have this little tiny book. So yeah, that's where I am. I don't know, do you have the same thing? Is this just something that I have? Is this my November blues? That is the November planner and journaling blues? Let me know. I feel discombobulated. Is that a word? I think it is. So yeah, maybe it's just that if this book is done, I don't have a reason to use this beautiful cover. Maybe that's the reason why. No clue. I will see you soon. Until then, bye bye.